Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today what we're going to do is create a program where we log in and we read Windows log files and we save the contents to a text file, and we can search inside the file for information, and we're going to do this in Python. So first of all, what you're going to do is, let's just remove these two here. They've got duplicates there. Okay, so we've got to import a few modules first of all. So I'm going to import the OS here. Did I use it in this program? No, I don't think you really need it actually, but I always have that up there anyway. I'm going to import the time module and import password input. Now, if you don't already have password input on your on Python, you need to install it using pip. So first of all, what we do is we create a function here. I'll just expand this a little bit. The function here is called login. And then what we do, let me just, okay, that's looking better. We create a variable called password, and we assign password here, the password variable, to a password. I've assigned it to admin123. And I'm going to do a while true loop here. So what we do here is we create another variable called PW, which stands for password, and we assign it to password import dot password import, and then we type in prompt, and we assign the prompt to a string called enter password, which the user will see once they go to run the program. And then what we do is we enter mask here, and we assign that to an asterisk. So anything the user types in will be hidden with asterisks. Sorry about that. Okay, let's continue. Then what we do is we go on to the if conditional, because we're going to have a look at something here. So we're going to say if PW password is equal to the password up here, then we're going to print a message to the user telling the user that you are now logged into the system, and then we're going to break out of it. Or else, this is the catch-all, print error try again. Now, because we use the while true loop, it will take us back up here and we can type in another password. However, if we get the password correct, we are exiting the program. And down here, we are calling the next function called readlog. So let's go back up there. Here comes the next function, which is readlog. So what I've done is I've created a variable and I've assigned the path to that variable. So the path on my Windows desktop is cwindows logs cbs.logs. Now I think that is the path for most Windows computers. So I'm not 100% sure, but you can type this in and it should be right for you. If not, you're going to have to find your own path. Okay, so what we do is we open the log files to read, and we use the R flag here to read as file object. Then what we do is we loop through them using the for I in range of 30. So, and then we assign a variable called contents, and we assign it to file object read lines. So we're going to read the lines there, and then we're going to print out the contents. And then we're going to save the lines as contents here. Then what we do is we go on to the next function, which is called save lines, and we pass the argument into here, contents, and then we print out a message to the user telling the user we're saving the lines to a text file. And then we use the time function, time.sleep, and we enter a value of 1, which is 1 second in there, to pause the program for 1 second. It also makes the program look like it's working as well. Then what we're going to do here is we're going to create a text file. Let me just go out a little bit there. A text file here. We do that with open, and we want to save this text file on the desktop. So this is the path for my desktop here, C users mark desktop. And I've typed in the save log.txt. Now for your desktop, this is going to be different. So you're going to have to find out what your own unique desktop path is. I've called this file here saved log.txt, and I've got the flag here, and this is A. So what this will do, it will create a file, but it will also append to that file, because we're going to be going through the logs and we're going to be appending to the file. Okay, so we don't want to use W, which is just create a file, because that won't append, it will just overwrite every single time, so we'll just get one line in there as file object. And then we use the file object .1 to write the contents into this file, and then once we finish we print file saved. Now what we're going to go on to here, we're going to go on to the next function, which is search for file. And I've created an error handler here by using try. So if there's a problem with this, it should throw an error. So I've created a variable here called search, assigned it to input because we want to get the user input. And I've told the user what to do, search file, yes or no. So the user gets the choice of entering yes to search for a file, or no, not to search for a file. So we use the conditional if here to evaluate this. So basically, if the search here is equal to yes, if the user typed in Y in there, and we created another variable here called word, and we assign that to input, and we tell the user to enter a word to search for. So, you know, you could enter a word, for example, if we're checking log files, something like error would be a common word that might show up in text files. And then what we do here, let me just go out a little bit. So we create another file here called that's the file savelog.txt for reading as file object. So for line in file object, if the word is in the line, so we go through those files, and if we find the word in the line that we typed in here, we print, and we use the F string here to format it, the word, which will interpolate the word into here, found in line. So this will be the line of the file. Or else we simply print a message to the user, word not found. And to finish off this if statement here, we have to use an else. So if search is equal to Y, okay, we do that. If not, we print you chose N, which is no, bye, and we exit the program. At the bottom, we finish this error handler here with exception as E, and then we print out and we interpolate the E into there, which will print out exactly what the error was, if there is an error. And okay, that's just about it. So at the bottom, we have to call the login, we have to call the read log, and we have to call the search file. So let's just save this and let's run through it, shall we? Let's just start there. Let's make it bigger. Let's make this bigger. Oh, so enter password. So the password was admin123. Let's hit enter. Okay, so you're now logged in, and what we're doing is we're going to go through the log files here, and we're going to search for the log files. So this is going to be a little bit of a process, so I'm going to speed the video up a little bit. Okay, so here we are. So saving lines to text file. So we've saved all those lines to a text file. So it says here file saved, and we've got the option to search the file, yes or no. So I'm going to enter yes in here. Okay, enter the word to search. So I'm just going to simply enter error here to search those files, and let's hit enter. Okay, so it's gone through, it's told me word not found, word not found, word not found. Okay, so we've not found that word in there. So let's have a look, and let's go back. Okay, here's the saved log. Okay, and this is all the stuff here. So maybe I should have I thought error actually might show up in here. Maybe I should have chose to search for words like build or lock or anything, or info. Well, if I'd search for info, everything is marked down as info here, but there was no errors in there. So there you go, folks. I hope you enjoyed that, and remember, if you're not already subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscription button below, give it a big thumbs up, and I'll catch you in another video. Bye-bye.